normal stuff, just regular, being happy, balanced, fully functional and healthy. This is, basically the minimum what we want. Optimization is how resilient it is, okay, against new onslaughts, new stressors, I guess you could say, or new instances of stress. So how fully optimized is your HPA axis? Permanently, fully permanently, 98, 99, 100. Okay, so everything else has kind of helped it get better. We don't need to yet do anything with that. So it's now 100%. Check mark. So now let's see how connected the system is to the spirit body side of things, fully and permanently. 98%. Dude, we're going to get the whole thing done today. That's why I asked you, because I knew that you were in good shape. Afterwards, we're going to check some other things. But, so what is the absolute key, core, critical, active reason why it's not 100% permanent? Emotion code. Okay. Column A. Column B. Odd, even. 2, 4, 6. Pride, shame, shock again. Okay. Is this yours? And this is your shock. And when did you develop this? For age 5? Around age 5. Okay. So something happened when you were 5, and that was just a little too much. Okay, is there anything else we need to know about this? No. Can we safely release it with 3? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay. And by the way, I get your daughter did not inherit this, or any of the ones so far. Okay, how full is the light coming through? 90, 95, 100 perm. And it's nice and strong, so we don't have to do anything right now. Okay, now how fully attached is your HPA axis to your spirit body? 98, 99, 100. 100% perm. Check mark. Okay. The next step is how fully connected is with your HPA axis to your physical body. Now, I want to make a note here. When it says connected 98%, for example, this does not mean it's not 100% connected. But what I found, and one of the key reasons why I developed the cell code, is that we have connections between our physical body and our spiritual body. And this interface, and vice versa, and this interface is basically our soul. It's when we have a disconnection, that means that the light is not flowing through at all. If we have a cut in a connection, there's a couple of things that can be happening here. One, there is an actual cut and the light is blocked. Or there is a cut and there's a trapped emotion in there. Okay? That's kind of a temporary stopgap measure that the body did to try to make this connection as complete as possible. But trapped emotions, by definition, are not pure, right, perfect light. Okay? They're a lower frequency, and while they're better than nothing usually, they're not pure, right, perfect light that should be flowing between, from your essence to the outside, and from the greatness of pure, right, perfect light from the outside inside, for example. This is something that the emotion code and the body code don't really go into, and I don't know how understood it is in a healer's library, but all of these trapped emotions that we have, We have them for a reason. And the reason is that we did not learn how to use our light properly as we were growing up. And so we did the next best thing, which is either take a trapped negative energy that we already had, or take it in from the environment, from people around us, to help us try to deal with the world, learn how to function in the world, to build a structure to keep us going. Most of the time, the absolute bottom, lowest denominator from all of this is some sort of inherited block, where we were born into the world, and right from the get-go, that little bit of light from our essence we had no access to. And so children who are born that don't have enough access to the light, they die young. Okay? And most of us don't. But unfortunately, most of us are not taught how to use our light properly. Ideally, our parents should be doing that, but if they've got their own issues, they don't know how. And whether, on a subconscious basis, at any rate. And so we build these structures of trapped energy that's of a lesser frequency than our essence. Okay? When we start pulling these trapped emotions, or releasing them, and the subconscious doesn't have a problem releasing them normally if it feels safe, energetically calmed down enough. If we just pull them willy-nilly and not enough light is available underneath, so to speak, then we will just attract more. And to fill in that slot again, because the disconnection is too much. Okay? And sometimes it's worse than a trapped emotion. It could be an addictive heart energy or something like that, or something bigger, or worse. And so it's really important that we focus on making sure the light is coming through fully. And fully is from all sources of pure white perfect light possible. And it's not just our own or the greatness of pure white perfect light of the universe, but also from our ancestors and the people around us who love us. So I'm kind of a get your light back type of person. So anyway, back to the body HPA axis connection. So how full is this connection? Permanent. 98%. So this 98% tells me that there is some sort of trapped emotion that keeps it from being 100%. And that's what we're going to go after, it, some sort of trapped energy. Okay, and is the absolute key core critical reason, active reason? Is it emotion code, body code, and it's the soul code? So then we'll go to the soul code chart. Column A, column B, odd, even, 2. It's another cut and attachment between internal and external points. Okay. Is it above your shoulders? It's above your diaphragm. So it's between your shoulders and diaphragm. It's your heart, your physical heart, and your spiritual heart. So there's a cut and an attachment there. It's not a full cut, but we're going to get it back together. So with 20 strokes, so it's not a huge, it's not a terribly severe one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19, 20. Okay. You let go some stuff there. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So it's now fully connected. Now how full is the light coming through? 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay. I'm just going to give it some little extra support. 10, So we'll go back. So your body HPA axis connection is now 100% perm. Cool. Check mark. Okay, now, so the best thing to do now, we don't want this to go too long, is to give you the opportunity to give your whole active HPH axis to the greatness of pure white perfect light. And if anyone has seen the session we did before, what happens is that if Tim wants to, if he chooses to, he gives his HPA axis to the love and forgiveness of pure white perfect light, that gives it on to the greatness of pure white perfect light, where it's blessed and strengthened and healed as much as Tim will let it. And Tim can look inside of himself and see if there's anything that would keep him from embracing his HPA axis back into all that he is before the greatness of pure and perfect light. And if there's anything, then he can release that. And once everything is cleared, then he can receive this back into his essence and all of it, all that he is. So it's not just there; it's also his whole body. And this creates a circuit of light between his essence and his body and the greatness of pure perfect light in back. And this is a circuit that cannot be removed or damaged or injured in any way. The only thing that can happen to it is if Tim chooses to go against this light, which is highly unlikely since he's a big light fan. So, Tim, are you ready?
I'm ready. Give it away. Give it away. Give it away. Give it away now.
So, you can, and I often do this as a visualization with different people. So, for example, if Tim, you want to go through the visualization?
Okay, yes.
See how that works? So get comfy and close your eyes. And when you're ready, I'd like you to visualize your HPA axis.
Now tell everyone again, H is hypothalamus. A is...
The hypothalamus is a major gland in the center of your brain.
Yeah, for balance and hormones and...
all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Then your pituitary. Which is also like right underneath it, I believe, and is also in charge of all sorts of hormones, like growth hormones and fertility hormones and all sorts of things. All this, you can read about this at Wikipedia. Yeah. And then the adrenals.
Adrenals, okay.
These are glands that kind of sit on top of your kidneys.
Yeah, okay.
And all of the hormones that these glands put out, they communicate with each other somehow. And the signals that they give each other basically controls how your body responds to stress. And the four major stressors are perceived stress, it's all in your head stuff, blood sugar disruptions, circadian rhythm disruptions, and inflammatory disruptions. Those are the four main things that Chris Kresser, the naturopath, mentioned. Okay? And so by getting your HPA axis as happy and in the light as possible, this will help anybody who does this control stress better or respond to stress in a more healthy way, and help them make choices that can lead to better lifestyle choices, like eating properly so the blood sugar doesn't go all over the place, and not forgetting to eat or not eating too much. Also getting to bed on time at night, not staying up till all hours, with your face in a computer where that blue light is. And also that the immune system can deal with inflammatory issues more easily, like injury, and disease, as well as helping the body be more welcome to the good bacteria that you need in your digestive system, and more resilient against the bad bacteria, okay, or fungus, for example, that everybody has, but can get the upper hand if you're not careful, especially if you have blood sugar issues. So that kind of all works together. So you're sitting there with your eyes closed and visualizing your HPA axis in your hands. And so this will be a symbolic thing, most likely. And if you look at your hands, what is the symbol for your HPA axis? Just so you let people know.
Symbol. So
what does it look like? Some people it's a box. Some people it's a ball. Some people...
I'm getting a black box. Like, I close my eyes, I see the computer screen, but it's like a black screen.
Okay, so it's like, say it's a black box.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean that it's a bad box because it's black. It just kind of means, I would interpret this as, you don't exactly know what this does. It's like, the black box solution to things. And so you're not quite sure what it does, but it's a good thing. It's the black box solution. Okay? Think out of the box. So you're right there, and to the front of you, a couple of hands come out of the light to help you. And giving this, excuse me for the drilling, give this box to these hands, which represent the love and forgiveness of pure, white, perfect light. Okay. And if you have problems giving the whole thing, you can ask these hands to help take it for you.
Okay, I gave it to them.
Okay, and so you've given it fully when your hands are down at your side again, your spiritual hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can just walk up a little bit to the front where the light is. These hands will, if you let them, you can ask them to, give this box, your HPA Axis box, to the greatness of pure, right, perfect light. And possibly hands will come out of the light again, symbolically, and take this box for you.
Okay, they took it.
Okay. And so now, to get ready to receive the box back, right now it's being blessed and strengthened and healed as much as your subconscious will allow it. Look into your heart. Is there anything in your heart that would keep you from embracing this box back and all that you are before pure, perfect light?
No, nothing.
Wonderful. Okay. So when you're ready, when you're fully ready, you can put out your hands.
Okay.
And receive back what pure, right, perfect light has to give you here.
It's no longer black screen, it's all bright.
Yep. Yep, that's what happens.
It's a bright screen now.
Okay. So you take that bright screen and put it into your chest. And embrace it fully with love and joy. Okay? Because your HPA Axis loves you. And is trying to support you the best that it knows how. And it's got a little extra support from pure, white, perfect light. And the love and forgiveness of pure, white, perfect light can help you. So if you need help embracing this and all that you are, and not just in your essence, but in your body, you can ask the love and forgiveness of pure, white, perfect light, and let the hands come out, and like one hand on your chest and one hand on your back to help you fully receive your HPA Axis back.
Okay.
Okay, and you know that you've fully embraced it with love and joy when your hands are down at your side again, your spiritual hands, and the hands of the love and forgiveness of pure, right, perfect light have gone back into the light.
Okay.
There might be other hands there too helping along too. When all the hands are gone, then you know you have allowed the circuit to complete.
It's all complete.
Okay. So, how does that feel, by the way?
How does it feel to be one of the beautiful people? I was just listening to that song today, actually.
Okay.
It feels good.
Okay. So, I have no idea how this is going to affect you in the present, conscious, physical world. I guess look at your stress responses to things. Are you calmer, or are you just more able to deal with stress better? I'm not sure, because
we'll see how this trip. I'm going away on the 2nd to the 12th to Hawaii with my wife.
Exactly.
And it was our second trip out of Japan together, and we did another one with 10 days, and this is the 10 days too. And the last 10 days didn't work out well at all in California. So I'm hoping this one we don't get in the same fights we get into, and everything's good. So let's see how unstressful I can be, and fully at ease and relaxed and not bothered by my wife.
Well, my mantra is, if I have a problem with someone, I work on myself. So
yeah.
And if only to make myself more robust and resilient to deal with things. Another thing I've found really interesting is that when I get triggered with something, I ask my heart, how old am I?
Yeah.
And what this basically, because we have our inner children, and unresolved stuff from our past, and if we get triggered, if we ask our heart what age it is, and it does, and if it doesn't say, well, it's right now, it's the here and now where we should be. If it says, oh, I'm 6, then you know that there is a unresolved issue from age 6, because you've got a little 6-year-old kid running around in there. Or age 8, or age 11, or whatever. Then it helps you consciously kind of step to the side from this trigger and go, oh, okay, that's not me right now. That's me in the past, and I don't really need that right now. And you'll make a note of it, so you know that you need to go back to that. But it helps us realize that we are not our trapped emotions.
Yeah. I also find if we ask, who am I being right now, a lot of times it's biomimetically mimicking someone in our family. Like my grandma and grandpa used to fight all the time. Every time we went on a trip, they were always killing each other. So if I ask, who am I being right now, a lot of times I'm being my grandpa or I'm being my grandma. So
yeah, that's another way of looking at it, where those energies, you absorb them because you didn't know any better back then. Yeah. You absorb them, and so they get triggered. And when that happens, and you say, oh, my grandma or my grandpa or whatever, ask what age that is. Is it your age or their age? Because it could also be, if it says age, it's them and age 6. They have their unresolved issues from when they were children.
Yeah.
From when they were children. And so you can kind of get an idea of where that started. And, if it's inherited, I'm not quite sure what that would be, but, maybe I know people have, they've had these visions of, they see all these heads behind them, when it comes to a certain issue. Meaning that this issue was inherited so many heads back, so many generations back. That's another way of looking at it. Just to give an idea of what is being affected and why me, and what can I do. And you can even take your palm chakra and deactivate those energies. When you feel like, oh wait, I'm being age 6, and do 10, okay, over the governing meridian or someplace, and see if that doesn't deactivate it. It doesn't get rid of it, but because these trapped emotions that are involved, these trapped energies, they have a diameter. You can measure that. And, the bigger they are, the more influence they have. And, you can have trapped emotions that are 2 meters across. And then it doesn't just affect you, it affects everybody in that range. But if you can deactivate it with 10, or even deactivate it permanently with 20, then it goes down to, little size, where the influences are just that area instead of, the rest of the world, whoever's sitting next to me. So that's one way to deal with things that aren't ready to be released yet, but are still having an influence and being rather annoying.
Cool.
So I've been experimenting a lot and, coming up with little tricks to deal with things, to help the body feel safer releasing stuff, figure out why there's processing symptoms, and there's processing symptoms because they don't have access to enough light. Whoever you're working on. And what do you do when it's not the right time to go through a session? Like you're sitting in an airport and having a fight. I bet you can go, dang it, how old am I? Ah, crap. Deactivate. And then bring that energy in, so just little, and hopefully diffuse the situation a little bit. Okay, any other questions?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, so I hope that's helpful for everybody.
Yes.
And thank you for being having a nice, healthy, relatively speaking, HPA axis.
Yeah, I'm glad I did. I wanted to do a little commercial. Let me just plug in my battery on my thing is juice is going down before I lose my charge. Hold on one second. I'm trying to plug it in, but I don't have enough light in this room. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little commercial at the end of this. I just became a doTERRA.
doTERRA distributor.
Yeah, I just became. I've never been into essential oils. I know a lot of healers are into essential oils, and I never have been into that. I think one reason because I haven't had a sense of smell for most of my adult life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so one of my clients turned me on to doTERRA, and I muscle tested before because I get lots of clients trying to turn me on to every goddamn thing, and this one I muscle tested and I got a strong muscle test. I should do it, so I said okay, sign me up, and I got the kit here, and it's got all these different oils here, and I've been starting to use the peppermint a lot lately, and I can start to smell it a little bit, which is cool.
Well, do you know there's actually a bone inside of your it's a bone that I can't remember the name of it. Oh man, I can't remember the name of it. But it's a bone that has,
it looks like a Mardi Gras mask. I think it's called the it goes through the whole inner side of the head, right? It goes to the back of the head. It's what's that called?
little holes in it that the nerves go through.
Yeah. And that bone, if it's misaligned, it also your lower back misaligned.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, if there's inflammation there, this kind of stops. Because see, I have the same smell problem. I had about 15 years ago. When was it? 1999. I think it was 1999. So it's been 17 years. I had a virus twice in the same month, really, really bad. And after that, I couldn't smell anymore. And and I had at the time. You could still do research on the internet, though it wasn't as easy as now. But what I found was that viruses can do that. If you have a really bad virus, it can deactivate these nerves and cause a perpetual inflammation in that area.